Ex-Barcelona defender Gerard Pique was one of the richest defenders when he played, but now he has a business empire and a portfolio that goes over 170 million euros. This portfolio spans from everywhere from revolutionary sports leagues all the way to real estate. But how has a defender gone from earning millions a year to now being worth hundreds of millions? Today, we're going to be looking into the business empire of Gerard Pique. When Gerard Pique retired from football in 2022, most people thought that they were watching the end of a career. But what they actually were witnessing was one of the fastest accelerations in terms of a footballer going to an entrepreneur after their career. According to Forbes, Gerard Pique's net worth now exceeds 80 million euros. Now this is because of his football career, but also because of some really smart post-retirement investments. As we mentioned at the start, he has got a wide variety of business ventures, but they actually span across 5 key areas: sports ownership, entertainment, real estate, technology, and hospitality. Through these ventures, he's basically written the playbook on how you actually leverage your athletic fame for eventual post-retirement entrepreneurial success. Now, to really understand how Gerard Pique built his empire, we really have to look at the foundation, and that of course is going to be his football career, his almost unfair advantage. Between the years of 2014 and 2022, he earned 112 million euros in Barcelona contracts from his salary alone, and this peaked in the 2020 to 2021 season, where he earned 25 million euros in one season. The first venture we're going to talk about is Kosmos Holding. Back when he was still actively playing in 2017, Gerard Pique founded Kosmos Global Holding with Japanese billionaire Hiroshi Mikitani, the CEO of Rakuten. This sports and media investment group would eventually become, I suppose, the cornerstone of his business empire, and it's now currently valued at $50 million, and it's actually an umbrella organization for all of his business ventures and investments. Kosmos first made headlines with their $3 billion 25-year-long partnership with the International Tennis Federation to completely transform the Davis Cup. This deal revolutionized the tournament format, where they actually consolidated all the matches into a single one-week event in Madrid. However, tennis traditionalists weren't happy with it, and the ITF actually terminated this partnership in January 2023. However, this was kind of also related to financial issues due to COVID-19. And whilst this may not have been a success exactly, it is fair to say that Gerard Pique and at least the team around him have an innovative mindset. Moving on to one of Pique's more successful stories is definitely his transformation and investment in FC Andorra. In December 18, he actually bought the club when they were in the 5th tier of Spanish football, and under his ownership, FC Andorra achieved 4 promotions in 4 seasons, and by 2022, they had reached the Spanish Segunda Division. Now think about that for a second. Gerard Pique is after taking an amateur club to a now professional club that is representing a whole country from a 530-seater stadium. And if we want to talk some hard-hitting numbers, Pique's investment has actually gone from 500,000 euros to 4.5 million euros, and the club value has increased by 1,500%. But I don't think it'd be fair to make a Gerard Pique business empire video without talking about one of his innovative and most famous ventures to date: the Kings League. Launched in 2023, this 7-a-side tournament has really revolutionised how football is created, distributed and consumed, and it really has shown Pique's vision for the future of sports entertainment. We're talking about 40-minute matches here, with players actually racing from the goal line at kickoff, penalties being taken from the halfway line, and rules being changed mid-match by the fans. But here's one of the key stats: 85% of the audience is actually under 34 years old. Pique has clearly seen a pain point within the modern game. It's actually engaging a younger audience, and the growth numbers speak for themselves. The competition hit peak viewership of 2.11 million viewers on its first run, and then also had a total of 68.6 million hours watched. Revenue doubled from 2023 to 2024, and they've actually secured 60 million euros as well to expand it internationally. And the inaugural Kings League final actually sold out at the Camp Nou in 2023. We're talking about a 90,000 plus seater stadium that essentially sold out for a completely new football format. And Pique himself reportedly earned $3 million just from the Final Four event of this tournament alone in 2023. Replicated by the Baller League, what actually made this work was Gerard Pique's idea to integrate content creators as owners of these teams, and also ex-players. This includes Spanish streamers and footballing legends. 3 notable ones are Ibai Llanos, with 77.6 million followers across social media, Kun Aguero, and then Iker Casillas. This is just an example of 3 major celebrities that are allowed to own teams and also distribute and stream the content across Twitch, YouTube and TikTok. The fact that this is going out to such an expanded audience is so important, because sponsorship actually makes up 65% of the tournament's revenue. It's clear to see that the Kings League validates something that Pique has taught from the start: football has to be revolutionised in at least a portion or some sort of way for a younger audience. While established leagues have tried to gain viewership among Gen Z, Pique has made it look easy, with almost social media first sports driven content. And this prioritisation has just generated massive engagement. The Kings League is now expanded into Mexico, Brazil, Italy and Germany, and I do believe there's even more countries to come this year. And more countries just means more licensing opportunities, more sponsorship opportunities, and therefore complete revenue multiplication. But as I mentioned at the the start of this video, his business ventures aren't just limited to the industry they actually had a playing career in. Firstly, in terms of real estate, Gerard Pique has ended up building a portfolio that exceeds $45 million. And one of his biggest moves here was a €15 million building purchase from Stoneweg in one of Barcelona's finest districts, example. And with the site having both residential and commercial space, it really shows his ability to implement a shrewd and sophisticated investment strategy. Moving on to hospitality, he also has a $21 million hotel development project in Malaga through his holding family company. This project is designed as a luxury 128-room 5-star hotel, and despite some setbacks, Pique is pushing forward with the development. And apart from Kings League, what tends to separate Gerard Pique from usual athlete investment is the fact that he's not looking for anything passive, as he seems to be really focused on scalable media and entertainment platforms, one that increases his global recognition and his sports expertise. In particular, he has various interests and investment in both technology and esports, and his biggest tech investment has to be in SoRare, the fantasy football platform, where he acts as a strategic advisor and also an investor. He also co-founded the KOI eSports organization in 2021. This team both competes in League of Legends and Valorant tournaments, and is approximately worth $5 million. But let's actually round up everything we've just talked about and really evaluate his business empire. When you look at Pique's diversified business portfolio, it shows really good asset allocation across multiple sectors. And if we're looking at the assets themselves, there's 3 that are particularly poignant. Kosmos Holdings represents his largest single asset at $50 million. And second is his real estate portfolio of $45 million, and then followed by Kings League, which is $25 million. And to recap, looking at the remaining investments, we have FC Andorra at $8 million, the hotel development $21 million, tech investments at $15 million, esports investments at $5 million, entertainment at $3 million, totaling to $172 million in his portfolio. But I think there's no point in assessing a business empire without looking at the future. Current revenue growth trajectories suggest that Pique's empire could really expand over the next 5 years. As we have mentioned throughout this video, he has a diverse portfolio in many different sectors, and that is definitely going to grow exponentially, especially the fact that he is in so many sectors to begin with. If we look at the Kings League in particular, with 100% revenue growth and €60 million investment, we can see that investor confidence is high, and they do believe in the format scalability. And because of the potential in this asset, if you're looking at conservative projections, we're looking at the next 5 to 10 years, this portfolio could grow to $500 million. So as you can see, Gerard Pique has absolutely redefined what it means to go from professional athletics to business success. But honestly, I don't think he's going to be the first of his kind. I think there's going to be other athletes, and particularly footballers, who are going to look to be just as innovative and just as disruptive in their industries, or even in other industries that they choose to reside in. And are some of his business ventures not as good as we say they are? Let us know in the comments below, and if you want more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.